Welcome to part 19, everybody, and we are now going to Hyrule Castle to see Zelda. And you notice that the drawbridge is up even though it is daytime, and as we get closer to the castle, there are storm clouds a-brewing. Something's going on, and something will go on in just a moment. And folks, prepare to see Link's nightmare from the beginning of the game come true. Butthead. Anyway, immediately after the scene, dive into the moat and get the item that Zelda, who has a pretty long throw, threw at you. And it is the titular item, the Ocarina of Time. And when we get this item, be prepared to experience another cutscene. Yeah, at this point we can go to the Temple of Time and do what needs to be done. But first I want to do a few things. Immediately after the scene with Ganondorf, go to Castle Town, and what you want to do is you want to go to a back alley. And in this back alley, you will find a castle guard. Basically, you'll find this castle guard pretty much dying and saying that he'll say that, oh, Ganondorf betrayed us, killed the king, Zelda and Impa fled, I held off but I was attacked and all that stuff. So yeah, this guy pretty much sacrificed himself so that Zelda and Impa can get away. And he wanted to tell you that if we got said item, the Ocarina of Time, that he will tell us to go straight to the Temple of Time. So yeah. And of course, afterwards, after he pretty much says this spiel, he'll die right in front of you. I'm not joking. And here he goes. And dead. So, wow, that's pretty dark. Yeah. But hey, this game is a little more mature than the 2D games, I can tell you that. Well, anyway, folks, we have the Ocarina of Time in possession now, and the Ocarina of Time will replace the Fairy Ocarina, as you can see right here. So, yeah. But don't worry, all the songs that we have learned, we can play on this Ocarina, and they'll have the same effect, so no worries. So what happened to the Fairy Ocarina? Did Link decide to just throw it away in the moat after he got the much superior Ocarina of Time? Anyway. Like I said, I want to get a couple of things out of the way first. First of all, let's finish the Happy Masked Salesman side quest. After the third dungeon, there'll be a running man in Hyrule Field, and what we want to do is we want to track him down. And he'll be running around, and when we find this guy, make sure you keep track of him because he'll keep running and running and running. Now at some point the guy will stop and sit down and take a breather, and at that point you want to talk to him. And make sure you wear the bunny hood while talking to him because he'll take interest, and when he sees that you have the bunny hood on, he'll pay a whopping amount of rupees, pretty much enough rupees that will fill your entire wallet. And yeah. Anyway, it's kind of hard to pinpoint his exact location, so it'll take a while. Oh, I'd also like to point out that back when I encountered the P-hats in my previous video, the overworld music changed slightly. You know, to reflect this more menacing tone whenever an enemy is nearby, and it kind of gives the impression that there's danger, run away, go as far away as you can, get out while you still can, kind of feel. So I kind of like that. It's kind of I mean, since we can't have the traditional battle music while facing enemies in dungeons or at nighttime, so I mean, this is kind of nice. And I'm surprised that the running man is not being chased by P-hats, or when it becomes nighttime, gets attacked by enemy creatures. I mean, Link gets attacked, but still. I mean, I don't understand. Now, thankfully, folks, I managed to track down the running man in a record amount of time, and thankfully, the guy happens to be sitting down, all tired and stuff. So yeah. Oh, and once you get the bunny hood, well, once you get the money from selling the bunny hood, when you run into the running man again in the field wearing the bunny hood, he'll challenge you to a race, and pretty much what it is I believe you pay him a certain amount of rupees. And it's been a while since I've done this. What you want to do is he'll challenge you to a race, you'll race him, and unfortunately he'll beat you every time with like a second to spare. And yeah, so pretty much it's a worthless side quest, so don't bother racing the guy, it's not worth your time. And there he is, sitting on the ground, tired. And of course, those bunny ears kind of remind you of A Link to the Past, because in A Link to the Past, whenever Link goes into the dark world without a certain protective item, he'll transform into a bunny, because apparently the powers of the dark world change you to who you really are on the inside, and the Link of that game is a bunny. Anyway, let's go back to the mask shop, and by paying the mask salesman the required amount of money, and we'll keep the rest for ourselves, thank you very much, we have sold all of the required masks. And as a reward, he'll give us this special mask, and it's called the Mask of Truth, which is passed down by the Sheikah? Huh. So it's passed down through Impa's tribe? Did Impa donate this mask to the shopkeeper? I don't get it. Anyway, we get this mask, and like the description says, it will pretty much, if you put it on and talk to people, you can read their minds. And you can also read minds of the Gossip Stones, because the Gossip Stones share similar markings to the mask. So yeah. And also, we also get the bonus option of getting 3 other masks. The Goron mask, the Zora mask, and the Gerudo mask. And if we borrow any of those masks and like talk to people, well, we'll get funny reactions. Anyway, put on the Mask of Truth, and we talk to this Gossip Stone, and pretty much we'll have a strange reaction. And then, of course, it'll say that certain things, like, for this case, if you put a Deku stick near butterflies, something interesting will happen. And something interesting does happen, and I can tell you that what will happen is that if you put Deku sticks near butterflies, it'll create the whole thing of, it'll pretty much bring forth fairies. Anyway, there's a stop I want to do in the Lost Woods. Remember that place where the Deku had to judge your face? We're going to go back to it now that I have the Mask of Truth. And pretty much is, you want to do this as soon as you get the Mask of Truth before going to the Temple of Time for the first time. And the reason is because, well, there's this glitch in the game. You know how in Zelda games that you can pretty much get anything at any time? Well, this is the one instance where you can lose this thing forever. So anyway, put on the Mask of Truth. The Deku will observe you, and the Deku leader will observe you, and what is they'll be absolutely horrified. See how he recoils from the side of my ugly face? Yeah, I have a horrible face. But as a reward for showing my horrible face, he will give us Deku Nuts and the ability to carry more. So yeah, this is our last Deku Nut upgrade of the entire game. And like I said earlier, we can lose this thing because after we do the events of the Temple of Time for the first time, when we come back here and do this thing as a kid, we will not get the upgrade. And yeah, it's this glitch that's been around ever since the Zelda game has been made, and I don't know if the 3DS remake fixes this or anything, but I tend not to take a chance and pretty much get this out of the way quickly. So yeah, anyway, that's the Deku Nut upgrade. We're at maximum capacity at 40 Deku Nuts, and it's good to have items to stun enemies so we can kill them. Speaking of enemies, I know I said in the last video that I would promise to show you what the creatures at night are that appear at night if I don't have the bunny hood or veer from the path, but I forgot that it was not in that video, it's in this video. Sorry, I can't keep track of what videos I edit. Don't yell at me! Alright, so the time has come to show you these enemies. And these enemies will be known as stall children. And why are they stall children? Well, honestly, I don't know. I do not know why they're called stall children. Anyway, as soon as night comes, here they are. and they will attack. Basically, these stall children, who are pretty much your size, I believe, will pop up from the ground in twos, and then they will take a swipe at you. And honestly, their swipe takes about a quarter damage of your heart. And pretty much is you can stun them, you can attack them. They're not that bad. And yeah. And if you attack enough of these stall children, a bigger stall children will appear from the ground. And well, again, they pose no threat. So Hyrule is populated by these things. Yeah, see, there's that big one right there, but again, no threat. And you can even knock the heads off the stall children, but they will still come and they will still swipe you. Yay. Isn't this place great? And if you want, you can use the stall children to practice your sword skills, practice your fighting techniques, do all that sort of thing. Yeah, you can do that until the break of dawn. Or you can just stay on the dirt road, put on the bunny hood, head into the water, or just play the sun song to skip this night entirely. But yeah, eventually, when the rooster crows, then we will get rid of these guys once and for all. And yeah. So let's for once follow Navi's advice and go to the Temple of Time because, well, I want to get things going because at this point, there's nothing else I can do as a kid. But don't worry, we'll be back to being a kid shortly. Alright, the time has come. Let's go stop Ganondorf from stealing the sacred Triforce. Let's see if we can save the day. Because we're the hero. I mean, I risked my life for these creatures throughout Hyrule. I've developed bonds with them. Oh, and here are some more gossip stones. And if you want, you can put on the Mask of Truth and read them to learn interesting gossip. Now, folks, I am not going to go... I'm not going to go out of my way to a gossip stone just to read its thoughts, but you can do it if you want to. I mean, some of the things are pretty interesting, like for one, that one I just saw earlier about the Gerudo females going into Hyrule Town to look for boyfriends. So, yeah, I thought it's interesting to get all this neat tidbit. Or if you don't want to do that whole gossip stone hunting thing, you can look up what the gossip stone messages are on GameFAQs or some other website. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to try and cut this down as much as I can. Alright, after reading the gossip stone, let's head on towards the Temple of Time. There's Death Mountain in the background. I like how Death Mountain's like on almost every shot. Anyway. Welcome to the Temple of Time, everybody. Alright, it has this platform right here. That's interesting. And here is this altar right here. Basically, there are 3 hollowed spots in the inscription, pretty much saying, insert spiritual stones here and play the Song of Time with the Ocarina of Time. So, let's do it. Alright, here are our hard-earned spiritual stones. Alright, they are being inserted into their respective slots. And the Triforce symbol glows. And this door right here opens. Alright, we're almost there. We're almost done with this game. To think that, while it is fun, I feel kind of shortchanged. However, there's this interesting item, as Navi points out. It is a sword. And it's not just any sword, folks. It is the legendary blade, the Master Sword. Yes, it's back after making its appearance in A Link to the Past, but in 3D too. And the Master Sword pretty much takes on the appearance that will remain the rest of the series. The traditional blue-handled blade and nice glowing. So yeah, let's see. Link, pull that sword out. Let's see what it does. Well, that's epic. Oh man, no. Yeah, pretty much. This sucks. Ganondorf has been waiting for you to open the door so that he can walk on in and claim the Triforce for himself. Way to go, Link. Way to go. You have just pretty much ended Hyrule right there. Well, folks, we're pretty much going to have to clean up the mess in part 20, so we'll see you then.